I haven't done this before, but I'm hoping, I am going to be committed to it, only for January to start with, because I don't want to commit to any longer than January and then find that I've kind of let myself down, because I think if you let yourself down, then you beat yourself up about it, or I certainly do. But I'm going to have a no spend January. Yep, you heard it right. What was that you said, Lesleyanne? Yeah, no spend January. Other than, obviously, of course, all the essentials, things that you have to spend money on. You have to pay your bills, obviously, that goes without saying. And supermarket things, the dog food. Obviously, I need to buy things like the washing liquid for the washing machine. That sort of stuff I do still have to buy. All my basics as well for my store cupboard. Things like, obviously, milk and cheese, dairy, that sort of thing. But I'm really going to try to be a little bit more frugal in January, and make a whole load more of home cooked meals. The majority of the time I do cook homemade meals anyway, but you know, when you have those moments where you think, do you know, I really can't be bothered today, or oh, I feel so tired, or you're rushing back from somewhere, you know, and they're the times that Chris and I would say, oh, let's have a takeaway then, shall we? But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to have like some meals in the freezer, so if I find myself in those situations, we can quickly pull out, either pop straight into the oven, freezer to oven or freezer to microwave, and then, yeah, Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt, I've done it, I've sorted myself out. But that's going to be my January. I am not going to spend money on silly things like clothes, makeup. You know, we've had so many things for Christmas. I don't need to buy myself anything at all. That being said, things like personal hygiene things, obviously, toothpaste, deodorants. I've got loads of shower gels, so I don't need to buy any shower gels or shampoo or conditioner for a while, so that's fine. Toilet roll, you know, that sort of thing you have to buy. So yeah, I shall be living frugally through January. So if any of my friends are watching this, don't ask me to go out for a meal because the answer will be no. No, the answer will be no. Not because we don't want to, but because, you know, I'm just trying to see what I would save by being really frugal during January. And what I've done is I have sort of set out a budget. I mean, in all fairness, I don't actually deal with the bills. Chris deals with all the bills. He looks after all the bills. I mean, obviously I know what comes in and I know what goes out because we have joint accounts. But when it comes to, like, Chris will sit down and, you know, and I do know as well when direct debits are coming out, so I'm not totally ignorant to that, but Chris likes to deal with that. However, I also do know how to deal with it. It's just something that he likes to do, and I'm quite happy to just let him get on with that. I mean, I know where things stand, so it's not as though I'm, as I say, kept in the dark. I know how much our bills are, etc, etc. And things like the grocery money and everything, I kind of deal with that side of it. So I take a certain amount of money every 2 weeks, because we tend to do our, like, home grocery budgeting thing every 2 weeks. So out of the 2 weeks money for supermarket, etc, etc, I have now compiled a list. We have several savings accounts, and I will be, or we will be, opening a couple more for the categories that I'm going to talk about, because every fortnight I'll be allocating some money that is to keep the household going in the way of essentials food, dog food, etc. And I'm going to, basically, I'm going to section it down into so much is going to be spent on dog food, and I will not go over that. So much is going to be allocated to personal hygiene, as in like, you know, deodorant, shampoos, razors, that type of a thing, cotton wool pads, all of that, and I'm not going to go over it. Then another category would be household things like toilet roll, kitchen roll, washing liquid, you know, for your laundry, fabric softener, that sort of thing. And then, I don't know, did I just say pantry as like a store cupboard and fresh meats? Anyway, I'm sort of sectioning it out like that. I've also got another category which is for birthdays and Christmas for next year. So every fortnight a certain amount of money is going to go into a separate account purely for birthdays and Christmas. And then another category, what's the other category? Oh, date night, so that we get to, or I've put it as sort of date day, date night, eating out. So we can either eat out once a week or have a takeaway once a week if we want to, at a lesser of amount of money, or we could eat out once a fortnight and you know, have a nicer meal. And I know you might be saying, oh, that's not frugal, but I'm not doing it in January. I'm not going to do that in January at all, because I think everything's been really decadent. We've spent loads of money, as everyone does, during the Christmas period. So yeah, January it won't happen. But what I said to Chris is, if we, like, I don't know, say February or March or whenever we decide to start it, we can eat, really have a really nice little treat. Like, we've got so many pubs around sort of where we are that serve food, and little gastro pubs, that sort of thing. And during the week, even during the evenings, they do a lot of meals that are 2 for £10, or from the early bird menu. From the early bird menu, you can have, I think it's for £10, you can each have a starter and a main, or a main and a dessert. So if Chris and I go for that option, what we tend to do is we have one starter, and then we just sort of share it, and then we have whichever main we want, and then we choose the dessert and we share that, because we find otherwise it's just too much food. You come out there feeling really, really bloated. You've had a starter each and a dessert each, and you've had your main meal, and you've had a drink. It's just a little bit too much. So that's what we tend to do. So we could do that if we wanted to. We could do that like once a week or whatever. And I prefer to do that than a takeaway, because I just feel takeaway, I don't know, might as well have just made it, to be honest, because you don't get that whole going out experience, do you? I know I'm only talking of going to the pub and stuff like that, but, you know, it's a nice little treat. So anyway, yeah, I thought I don't even know why I started on that. But anyway, yeah, that's what's happening in January. So I've only got a few days left now, really. Yeah, don't need to buy anything. So I'm already starting to look at what I've got in my freezer, etc. to start doing meal plans. And I will be doing my meal plans. Last year, or this year, 2019, I was very much hit or miss, really, with my meal plans. Sometimes I was great, and I'd sit down and we'd go through it all, we'd do a meal plan, and then I couldn't be bothered to cook half of what was on there, really lazy, but this time I'm going to do it. I've set myself a challenge, and this is why I've only done it for January to start with, because I have to do baby steps. If I think, oh my gosh, this is right up until April or something, that would just be too much for me, too daunting, and I wouldn't do it. I'd throw in the towel straight away. But if I can get through to January, then I can see maybe what I might have to like adjust and go into February, and so on and so on. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I've joined quite a few pages on Facebook as well, where it's all about sort of budgeting and getting loads of tips off of people, how they do it. There is no right or wrong way of doing it. It's sort of whatever suits you really. So, but yeah, it's nice to get all the tips and seeing how people do it and sort of recipes and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to doing it. So anyway, guys, I am going to end this vlog here. I hope you've enjoyed it. Take care of yourselves and see you in the next one. Bye.